And I'm Tyler Smith, joining you live in El Dorado this morning. I'm trying to write my name in the snow, but every time I get finished, the snow just comes and covers it up. We got more important stuff to talk about, though. I got the updates on your road conditions, and I have a man who says he's playing it safe in this winter remix. We have that straight ahead.
The only way to wake up. This is Good Morning Arklamas, your breaking news and weather authority.
Good morning to you. Thanks for starting your Tuesday with Good Morning Arklamas. I'm Evan Johnson.
And I'm Taylor Yakowenko. We will waste no time. Head straight to the Weather Center this morning to check in with Dylan Robichaud. Good morning, Dylan.
Hey, good morning, Taylor. Right now, snowfall picking up in intensity across the Twin Cities and up through southern Arkansas this morning. Let's get you right on over to the Doppler radar. Snow extending from Monroe all the way back out toward Longview and Tyler, Texas, moving from west to east. And we will be looking at pretty good snowfall intensity rates, especially up toward Union County, moving in through just now, moving from Magnolia into El Dorado. We have a pretty good snow band, and then down toward Farmerville, Ruston, Quitman getting in on some of the action, and the same goes down towards Wind Parish this morning as well. Now the snow will eventually be moving into Harrisonburg, Jonesville, Waterproof, and Winnsboro, so those will be the next towns to get some icy precipitation this morning. As we head throughout the day, we'll be looking at temperatures starting out in the 20s and, quite frankly, ending in the 20s, because we're not going to get much warmer air to move on in. It's also going to be windy out there. Northeast winds at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Gusts could be upwards of 30 miles per hour.
All right, Dylan, and as a result of this winter weather, lots of closures are happening today. Here is a list of school closures for today. Make sure you check to see if your area is listed on here. And also, there are several road closures being reported this morning. Here's that list for you. For a complete list, go to knoe.com. You can also find the list of closures scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Meanwhile, the snow already coming down pretty hard in southeast Arkansas, as you saw.
That's right. El Dorado is one of the areas expected to get the worst of this winter weather. Our Tyler Smith is live there this morning, kicking off our team coverage. Tyler, good morning to you. What are you seeing out there?
Hey, Taylor, never listen. I am still trying to write my name in the snow this morning. I'm not really having too much luck at it, but hopefully the kids will have better luck with it this morning. That's because, they will have a lot of time to do it because the El Dorado School District announced that kids would be out of school today. They canceled class a couple of hours ago, so that's certainly good news for students, but it's not good news in terms of, even though the schools are closed, that's not the same for the roads. That's because many people are still driving out on them this morning. I talked to Police Chief Kevin Holt this morning, and he says that there aren't any roads that are closed at this time. On my way here, coming on the interstate, there were several snow plows that were getting that snow off the road, off to the shoulder, and there's still plenty of cars still going about their daily commutes today. And I'm joined by one man who's been living here in El Dorado his entire life. His name is David Ponder, and he is playing it safe. You actually work in Farmerville, isn't that right, sir?
Yes,
and
sir.
so why are you staying in?
Staying up in 114 Reed elevator.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this isn't the first time you've seen snow, but it's something that doesn't happen very often. What was it like when you woke up and saw all this out here this morning, sir?
I just thought about going to work.
But then you had second thoughts, right?
Yeah, take a thought, and I'm going to sit right here till it get daylight and be inside. And when it get daylight, I'm going to try to see how far I can go.
Absolutely. Now, you know, there's a lot of people watching right now who are on the fence about whether or not they should leave the house. If they do, what advice do you have for our viewers this morning?
Drive slow and be real cautious and be real safe. Because you don't need to tear your vehicles up.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah, well, David, thank you so much for joining us this morning. For those of you who are just now joining us, El Dorado School District announced that school is canceled today. However, the roads are still travelable this morning, so be sure you're safe out there on the roads. Taylor and Evan will have another update coming up here in the next half hour. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Tyler, thanks so much for your live reporting. Stay warm there. The roads look really bad out there in El Dorado. Here in Ouachita Parish, though, officials are keeping close eyes on the roads as well as they try to keep things as safe as they can for those of you who have to head out this morning.
Nick Pict also keeping a lookout for us. He's on the road this morning. Nick, you've been driving around a little bit. What are we dealing with out there?
We're dealing with cold, snow flurries, and wind, especially here in downtown Monroe, right by the Endom Bridge. That wind off the Ouachita River is bitter cold. So I've got my scarf, 4 layers, and gloves on. I mean, it is chilly here. So That being said, I still got my radar gun, guys, pointed at the ground now. It says 27 degrees. The ground's starting to get cold enough to support that snow accumulation. And it's a little hard to see, but I'm just going to kind of pick some of this up. You know, it's starting to come up on the leaves and such. You can see the snow really starting to stick. And that's the thing. It's going to cause things like the Endham Bridge to be closed. You can see that there. It's a list. This was the first of probably what I think we have now is 10 road closures in the area. So things probably going to get worse as we move through the morning and as people really start to get on the roads and go to work. I've seen a few cars try to get to Endham and obviously not be able to, have to turn around and reroute. So that's definitely something that people are going to need a little extra time for their morning to account for. All of that to say, the police jury is prepared. We talked to them a little early yesterday, late last night, and here's some of what they had to say.
But we've got trucks that's already filled with sand. They're ready to go. We've got salt that's ready to go. We've got trucks with barricade in them. We'll be talking through the night with the Louisiana State Police to see how we can help them, as well as the Ouachita Parish Sheriff's Department. To watch out for the overpasses, watch out for the bridges, anything that's elevated. You know, if you're not in the country, you want to watch out for trees down on the road, because we're going to get some of that.
So a couple of things before I send it back to you guys. I just pointed the radar at the ground again. Now 26 degrees. So the snow is going to continue to accumulate, and that's going to make the road slick. And I don't know how much you can see this. Obviously, I have to move the camera myself. But in downtown Monroe, there are puddles starting to form on the ground, and that, once the temperatures continue to go down on that ground level, makes for the sleet and the icy conditions. So that's going to be another thing to look out for. Also, I just got a call from West Monroe Police who said that the Downing Pines overpass is closed. I don't know if we added that to the road closures, but we will be sure to do that in the near future. But that's all I got, guys. I'll stay out here and I'll keep everybody updated. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Nick. Meanwhile, the cold weather is brutal for homeless people as well. The Desert Street Shelter says it will not turn anyone away. They say with the winter weather like today, it's crucial to keep the doors open. Now, that shelter has been picking up the slack since the Salvation Army shelter closed. The director says anyone without heat or power is welcome free of charge.
And you can stay informed during this winter weather event by downloading our free KNOE app on your smartphone or smart device. That way you don't miss any alerts or breaking news. And we want to see your pictures. You can submit them by going to our website or by using our free app and selecting the Send Us Photos button. Fill out the form and your pictures will be added to our online gallery. Some may even be shown on air throughout the morning right here on Good Morning Arklamis.
Switching gears now, Monday, the nation honored the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The civil rights leader would have been 89 years old. President Ronald Reagan signed the holiday into law in 1983. The first national observance was 3 years later in 1986. Dr. King's daughter, Bernice King, spoke yesterday about the importance of this day of remembrance.
We are specifically asking individuals to, on purpose, between now and April 4th, to do an act of kindness towards someone of another race. And so we've got to be intentional about some things as we go forward, as we move the legacy of Dr. King forward, because it's not going to happen by happenstance.
This year marked the 50th anniversary of Dr. King's assassination.
And some local teens recognized MLK Day. The group Teens for the Dream hosted an educational movie days screening the movie Selma. They say it's part of teaching about Dr. King and how his life went way beyond one speech.
Most youth my age don't like to stand up for what is right. They like to follow the crowd. So we want young people, our youth and older people, to be more knowledgeable, to not just he's for the dream, he also had more characteristics.
The group hopes to continue the event for years to come.
Well, here's a health tip that's nothing to sneeze at, except for actually it sort of is. Doctors say you should not hold in your sneezes. That's according to a new report in the BMJ Case Reports Medical Journal. It highlights the case of a 34-year-old man who suffered an injury to his neck from holding in a forceful sneeze. The force of the squelch sneeze sent air and matter crashing into the back of his throat, and doctors found air bubbles in his soft tissues and a small perforation in his trachea. He didn't need any surgery, but he did have to be hospitalized for about 2 weeks. Sneezes can produce pressurized air that can explode at speeds of up to 100 miles an hour.
TMI.
Yuck.
Some things you're just better off not knowing.
Yeah, maybe that's one of them.
I will never look at somebody who sneezes the same way ever again.
Uh-oh.
All right, guys, it is time now for our Facebook question of the day. Here is today's question. This 80s fashion accessory apparently making a comeback. What is it?
Coveralls.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say scrunchies.
And I'm saying fanny pack. On Facebook this morning, let's see, a lot of people are chiming in this morning. Lakeisha says perms. Tanisha says neck chokers. Jennifer perms. Chase fanny pack. Bonnie says wet shoes. And Lisa says leg warmers.
These are all, you might need those leg warmers today.
Probably do. A couple pair this morning. If you haven't already, let us know what you think the answer is. Head on over to our Facebook page. We're going to read some more of your comments later in the show, and we're going to tell you what the correct answer is. But stick around. Coming up, NASA is going to Mars. How they're planning to get there after the break. The time now is 6:12. Stay with us.